I love how I'm making a video about what it takes to be an astrophysicist as I procrastinate studying for a physics final. If that is not the most accurate thing you will see on this channel, I'll be very surprised. Oh, what up, space nerds? This year has shown me a lot about what it's going to be like to be in the space world. In January, I volunteered at the American Astronomical Society Conference around a whole bunch of people who are amazing at what they do, while I just basically stood there. In February, I went to go see 2 rocket launches and saw 0, but I did get to see 3 delays, so ha! But I was able to go see some alligators and I met Harold. He chills hard. We'll talk about him later. So the year started off great. Volunteered at the AAS conference in January. I got to hand the microphones out during the questions after the presentations. You're welcome. But I was also able to get in free the entire time that it was there. Other than the time I was working, I got to go out, see other presentations. But more than that, it really made me feel like I was actually in the astronomy and astrophysics world. A lot of times, especially being an online student, we do all the work and we Zoom with people or we have lectures that are posted online, but we're not around what's actually going on now. I got to sit in a lecture about supermassive black holes after that's what I want to learn, and I realized I really want to learn that. I also sat in a lecture about dust in the center of galaxies, and I did not want to do that. So it was good with that. You'll know what you want to do and what you don't want to do. I also felt like I had so much left to learn. I understood about 50% of it, and then the rest just. But then I looked around during the presentations, and people who weren't in that field also looked as confused as, maybe not as confused as I did, but they also looked confused, and they had the questions, and they didn't understand what was going on. And that's when I realized this field is difficult, and it has a lot of specialties and a lot of things that need to be put together. So it's not just me. I am the dumbest smart person in the room, but that's beside the point. I'm in the room is what matters. I also felt really comfortable being there because, unlike other conferences, people aren't just in suits walking around all stuffy. No, we have people with multicolored hair. My professor here has a dress that looks like space. I'm in a space sweatshirt. This is a bunch of people that's there. Dr. K was also able to introduce me to a whole bunch of people because I'll be needing a PhD advisor when I go to grad school. So finding the right one who's studying what I want to study and who kind of meshes with you well, learning and teaching wise. It's very important. And having a professor like Dr. K be able to introduce you to people is huge. So if you are going to go into this field, try to get involved in something. Meet professors, talk to them. They're actually human beings. It's crazy. I did not attend office hours until like this year, and they're people. Who knew? Last night I was actually able to see Marlon Wayne's 2 stand up, so that was awesome. Had to go and see that. After the conference now, I'm pumped. I'm feeling good. I want to carry that momentum into February. So I decide let's go see a couple of rocket launches. I've never seen one. I've heard it's life changing. So I plan to go see the Artemis launch and the SpaceX Falcon 10 launch, which took the crew to the ISS. Cool. The wet dress rehearsal for the Artemis launch was delayed 2 days before I even got there because of the one thing we always have to worry about on Earth dealing with the space world, weather. It was the coldest in Florida it's been in 60 years this year. 60! Okay, they needed to delay it 2 days because they can't be out in that cold with the fuel. Okay, no problem. So I'm down there. It's then scrubbed until March.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
We're okay. We're okay. I still have another rocket to see, another launch. It's a few days away. Now I can enjoy Florida. Let's go see some gators. So I got to ride in an airboat for the first time, which was freaking awesome. We also got to see these dinosaurs. I always think it's weird that like alligators and crocodiles are literal dinosaurs. But let me introduce you to Harold. This is Harold. He chills hard. And you can tell that this one over here likes him. She's getting jealous. It's important to know going into this field that you must be able to adapt. Things are going to change on the spot because you cannot plan weather 8 months in advance. I mean, you may be able to say, oh, it's a rainy season, but if I'm going to set up an observing run 6 months from now, I don't know if it's going to be cloudy that day. So you have to be able to adapt. You have to even be like, oh man, this is rough. And I will give you one very good piece of advice, and that is spend the extra money on the refundable tickets because you will definitely use them at some point. Yeah. So after doing homework and just waiting for the next launch, it's finally the day before the launch, and that launch gets scrubbed.
No!
It's one of those moments where you're like almost so mad that you're not mad. And because I'm an idiot, I just started laughing. But then I was like, you know what? I am staring out of my window at Universal Islands of Adventure, and there's the Hulk roller coaster. I'm going to go by myself to Islands of Adventure and go on some roller coasters. And that is exactly what I did. I spent 6 hours at that place by myself, and yes, I did go to Harry Potter World, and I would have purchased a robe if it was not $160. And yes, it would have been a Ravenclaw. And now, before you say anything, I know everybody's like, why Ravenclaw? Wit beyond measure is man's greatest treasure. Rockets did eventually launch, which watching them was kind of like watching your ex-girlfriend date a new guy, and I'm not even kidding, I had a little bit of that feeling, and I don't know why. It was very annoying. And other than the rocket jealousy, I really didn't mind going through that whole process. It did suck to plan a week-long trip and have nothing to show for it after that, but I did get to go on some roller coasters, and I met a cool-ass alligator, so I'm really, it's a give and take thing. The month before, I had an amazing time and learned a whole bunch about what I'm going to be doing. February, I learned a whole bunch about what I'm going to be doing, sitting around and waiting and being disappointed. But for all of those disappointments you have in this field, the one day of observing and looking at it changes everything. So yes, it will be hard. Yes, it will be disappointing. Yes, it will be worth it. And that's about all I got for you guys. Goodbye. We ask a lot of big questions in astrophysics. A lot of them have no answers and stuff, but we don't ask the biggest question of all. Who would win in a fight between a Big Mac and a Whopper? Like, I legitimately want to know that.